Chapter 10:18. What does that old man look like? Ling Yu asked anxiously. Ling Yu's expression changed drastically when she heard Qi Feng's description. Her body began to tremble involuntarily. Lin Yan, who sensed Ling Yu's abnormality, frowned and asked, "Ling Yu, what's wrong?" Ling Yu glanced at Lin Yan and forced a smile. "Sister Yan, it's fine." "Are you really fine?" Lin Yan couldn't help but feel worried when she saw that Ling Yu didn't look too good. She had a feeling that something was on her mind. "Sister Yan, I'm really fine." Ling Yu forced a smile and told Lin Yan. Although Ling Yu didn't say anything, Lin Yan felt that Ling Yu was hiding something from her. "Is the demoness you're talking about death?" Wang Jingyang glanced at Qi Feng. Yes. Death. That's right." Qi Feng nodded repeatedly. Apart from Qi Feng, everyone, including Lin Yan, turned to look at Wang Jingyang. "What's wrong?" Seeing this, Wang Jingyang was confused. Why were they all looking at him like that? "Doggy, how did you know about this power? You even guessed correctly. Most importantly, you sound like you've heard of the demoness." Lin Yan stared at Wang Jingyang suspiciously. Even evolved beings like her and Xing Chen didn't know about it. How could an ordinary person like Wang Jingyang know? Besides Lin Yan, Xing Chen and Ling Yu also stared at Wang Jingyang in surprise. Wang Jingyang was speechless. Wang Jingyang was slightly taken aback when he heard Lin Yan's question. He suddenly recalled that he was just an ordinary person. As an ordinary person, how could he have mentioned death? A mistake. It was a complete mistake. "Oh, this. Listen to me. Actually, I accidentally clicked into the Evolved Beings forum that the brother mentioned and read many posts. I thought they were made up by a bunch of lunatics." Wang Jingyang rolled his eyes and immediately found an excuse. "Brother, are you joking?" Qi Feng stared at Wang Jingyang. "No, I'm telling the truth," replied Wang Jingyang. "Impossible." Qi Feng shook his head and said, "The Evolved Forum has been encrypted since it was established. Without multiple passwords, it's impossible to log into the Evolved Forum. If you're just an ordinary person, where did you get the password? Or could it be that you are actually an evolved person? You deliberately pretended to be an ordinary person. Oh, you want to live an ordinary life, am I right?" Wang Jingyang. "Right my ass." Lin Yan couldn't help but laugh when she heard Qi Feng say that Wang Jingyang was an evolved being who had deliberately disguised as an ordinary person. In this world, perhaps even Wang Jingyang's parents did not understand Wang Jingyang as well as she did. Lin Yan and Wang Jingyang had known each other for a long time. They were all too aware of his personality, capabilities, and abilities. It could even be said that they understood each other better than they understood themselves. If Wang Jingyang was an evolved person, she would have killed herself on the spot. It's actually like this," Wang Jingyang thought for a moment and said, "I'm a professional hacker. Not to mention layers of encryption, even if you encrypt it 100 times, a hacker of my level can still easily crack it." End of this chapter. Someone is secretly taking pictures of us. Wang Jingyang realized that he was just an ordinary person, so he didn't do anything himself. Instead, he turned to Lin Yan and the others. As soon as Wang Jingyang's voice fell, Xing Chen instantly moved. In less than 10 seconds, Xing Chen had caught a little fatty. End of chapter. Xing Chen glared fiercely at the little fatty, then immediately took out the little fatty's wallet from his wallet. Xing Chen looked at little fatty's date of birth and frowned deeply. He stared at little fatty and said, "I'm 17 years old this year." End of this chapter. Chapter 10:21. "Yeah, I'm just a kid." The chubby boy nodded. "Oh, 17 years old. You said that your mother is 80 years old. You have 3 hungry children and a disabled wife. Xing Chen said thoughtfully, come on, lower your head. Slap. Xing Chen slapped the chubby boy's head again. Ah. Big brother, don't kill me. I was wrong. I won't dare lie again. The chubby boy wailed in fright. You don't learn good things at such a young age. You like to secretly take pictures, don't you? You like to lie, don't you? I'll make your 80-year-old mother suffer, your disabled wife suffer, and your 3 children cry piteously for food. Xing Chen stood on his tiptoes and gave the little fatty 3 smacks on the head. Delete the video you took tonight. If I find out that you're playing tricks, you're dead. Xing Chen tossed the camera at the chubby boy. The chubby boy took the camera aggrievedly and deleted the video reluctantly. Big brother and big sister, are you really evolved beings? Can humans really evolve? Do they have superpowers? Just like in the movies? The chubby boy noticed that Xing Chen and Lin Yan weren't as cruel as he had imagined, so he mustered his courage and asked. Haven't you been beaten up enough? Xing Chen bellowed. No, no, no. I won't ask any more. I don't know anything. I didn't hear anything. Please don't kill me, big brother. The chubby boy was on the verge of crying. Xing Chen turned to Lin Yan. Miss Lin, how is this chubby boy's acting? Lin Yan grinned thoughtfully. It seems like he won Best Actor. I reckon even Pei Nanxiu can't compare to him. I think so too. He's a pure actor. Xing Chen sighed heavily. Lin Yan sighed heavily. We never thought of killing you or silencing you. Did you act too much? There's nothing to silence, Sister Lin Yan, I was wrong. I'm your hardcore fan. The chubby boy stared at Lin Yan. Lin Yan was speechless. How could there be a fan who could act better than her? She refused to acknowledge such a fan. Listen to me. The video that you shot last time actually caused us a lot of trouble. Do you know that? I hope that you won't do that again, Lin Yan told the fatty solemnly. According to Pei Yucheng, the video from last time had been widely circulated in the evolved human circle. It had even spread to the evolved human circle abroad. It might cause serious trouble in the future. As for why there would be trouble, he didn't elaborate. Hence, Lin Yan had no idea. However, since Pei Yucheng had mentioned this, there would definitely be trouble. All of this was because of this irresponsible little fatty. What the hell? Sister Lin Yan, don't worry. I won't post it again. The last time. I didn't recognize you. Otherwise, I wouldn't have posted it. Fatty pointed at the sky and swore. He looked as though he would be struck by lightning. Lin Yan glanced at him strangely. You said that you didn't recognize me last time? Didn't you just say that you're my hardcore fan? Chapter 1022. He was so good at acting at such a young age. Why didn't he become an actor? Don't hit me. I was wrong. The chubby boy instinctively covered his head. Forget it. Let him go. Lin Yan didn't know whether to laugh or cry. This was the first time she had seen such a drama queen. Staring at the fatty's ID card, Xing Chen said, "Let me tell you, I've memorized your address. Don't you dare play any tricks. If you send anything to the internet again, I'll follow the address on your ID card and go straight to your house." Alright. I'll move tomorrow. No, I'll quit using a camera tomorrow. I won't take photos secretly anymore. The chubby boy vowed. Let's go. Xing Chen returned the ID card to the chubby boy. After leaving, the chubby boy ran as fast as he could, afraid that Xing Chen would catch up to him and beat him up. After running for a few kilometers, the chubby boy finally stopped, panting. Humph. Idiot. You know that I'm a drama queen, yet you're still so easily fooled by me. The chubby boy grinned and took out a memory card. Then, the little fatty inserted the memory card into the camera. Mu Yang. Mu Yen. Is Sister Lin Yan's name Mu Yen? At this moment, little fatty was sitting on the grass, looking at the footage he had taken today, deep in thought. From the moment Sibai had appeared to the moment Lin Yan had lost control, to the moment Wang Jingyang had hugged and comforted her, everything, including their conversation, had been played clearly on the chubby boy's camera. It's too touching. F***ck, I'm still a single dog. I thought it was a superpower blockbuster, but it turned out to be a romance film. That little brother is so amazing and touching. I must upload this online. I want everyone to see the purest love. The chubby boy took out a tissue from his pocket and wiped his snot. Could it be that there really are evolved beings in this world? The little fatty's face was full of excitement after he turned off the video. Although he had seen it with his own eyes tonight, he still found it hard to accept, especially when he had seen the battle between Wang Jingyang and Sibai, the giant beast that had appeared out of thin air, and even the terrifying iron wall. It was too exaggerated. They must be evolved beings. They definitely have superpowers. The chubby boy was increasingly certain. If he really uploaded this video online, would Lin Yan and that child really find his house and kill him? If that really didn't work, he would have to move. Lin Yan, Wang Jingyang, and the others were still there. Ling Yu seemed to have a lot on her mind and was not in the right state of mind. Xing Chen asked her several times, but Ling Yu seemed to be absent-minded. If there's nothing else, I'll leave first. Qi Feng glanced at Lin Yan and the others. Let's go. Lin Yan waved her hand dismissively. You betrayed your friends. Bastard. Qi Feng, who had just turned to leave, suddenly walked back. Miss Lin Yan, please watch your words. You can ask around. I'm famous for being loyal and willing to risk my life for my friends. I think you're stabbing a friend for your own benefit, quipped Lin Yan. Sigh, alright, I was wrong, but I really didn't have any bad intentions. That old man's daughter is indeed beautiful. No, that old man really doesn't look like a bad person. I just helped him along the way. I definitely won't do it next time, alright? Qi Feng sighed. I can forgive you, but there are conditions. Lin Yan frowned. Qi Feng was slightly taken aback. Soon after, he patted his chest and said, all right, as long as I can do it, tell me. End of chapter. Chapter 1023. Pay us double for tonight's video. Take it as compensation for our emotional losses, Lin Yan said solemnly. Xing Chen was speechless. The baffled Wang Jingyang, Ling Yu, who was distracted, was speechless. You're too evil. Qi Feng gritted his teeth. The price he had been willing to pay was already extremely high. He had asked him to pay double because he felt guilty, he wanted to die. Phone, QR code. I'll scan it. Qi Feng gritted his teeth. Lin Yan, who had a solemn expression on her face, suddenly chuckled. Indeed, we didn't misjudge you. We believe in you. You're loyal. Xing Chen was speechless. I don't believe you. Wang Jingyang was speechless. Ling Yu was speechless. After scanning the QR code, Lin Yan glanced at her account balance and grinned in satisfaction. Are you hungry? I'll treat you to a meal. Miss Lin Yan, I've finally seen it. You change your attitude faster than flipping a book. You're really the first. Qi Feng sighed heavily. The guilt in his heart had vanished. Are you eating or not? If not, go home and report to the Aurora team tomorrow. Lin Yan glanced at Qi Feng. I'll eat. I'll definitely eat. It's cheap. Qi Feng replied. He had given her so much money, so why wouldn't she eat? He had to at least make Lin Yan pay tonight. Do you want to go home and rest? Lin Yan glanced at Xing Chen and the others. The corners of Xing Chen's mouth twitched as he glanced at Lin Yan. Miss Lin Yan, you asked us to film without hesitation. We worked hard all night and almost lost our lives. It's fine that you didn't give us a single cent. But you're treating us to a meal and asking us to go home and rest. Isn't that a little? Lin Yan was speechless. She hadn't realized it before, but after hearing Xing Chen's words, she realized that she was a little stingy. That shouldn't be the case. I got it. Let's go together. Lin Yan sighed. She was going to spend money again. Lin Yan's eyes trailed to Wang Jingyang. Wang Jingyang glared at Lin Yan and bellowed coldly, Lin Yan, you're a money grubber. You didn't give me a single cent to work with you and put me in danger. If you dare to ask me if I eat, I will kill you. I'm serious. Lin Yan furrowed her eyebrows and studied Wang Jingyang for a long time. After some time, she replied, even if I don't bring the whole world with me, I won't leave you behind. Wang Jingyang's expression turned unnatural when he heard Lin Yan. His heart ached for her. Doggy, I'll give you $200. Go buy some groceries and we'll go to your house to eat. Lin Yan grinned and fished out 200 yuan bills from her pocket. She then handed them to Wang Jingyang. Even Qifeng and Xing Chen were dumbfounded, let alone Wang Jingyang. Giving Wang Jingyang 200 yuan to buy groceries, to eat at Wang Jingyang's house? Was this what Lin Yan meant by treating them to a meal? Lin Yan, you're a money grubber. Do you think I need your money? Wang Jingyang glared at Lin Yan and gritted his teeth. Good doggy. Lin Yan gave Wang Jingyang a big hug. Wang Jingyang, who was suddenly hugged by Lin Yan, had a complicated expression on his face. Lin Yan let go of Wang Jingyang and snatched the 200 yuan from his hand. End of this chapter. Chapter 1024. What are you doing? Wang Jingyang was puzzled. You don't need 200 yuan. I do. You can buy it yourself. Be good. Lin Yan grinned at him. Take it back. Who said that I don't need it? Wang Jingyang rolled his eyes at Lin Yan. Lin Yan was speechless. Why was he going back on his word? This rascal, Lin Yan had no choice but to pass the 200 yuan to Wang Jingyang. Wang Jingyang took the money and stuffed it into his pocket. He didn't want Lin Yan to regret her decision. You want me to cook at my place? You have to pay more, quipped Wang Jingyang. Given our relationship, isn't it easy to pay? Aren't you bronze? I'll bring you silver, quipped Lin Yan. Wang Jingyang deliberated for a moment before he replied, gold. Lin Yan replied, deal. It wasn't an easy meal either. They waited until dawn at Wang Jingyang's place before the dishes, which were worth 200 yuan, were served. Xing Chen, who was stunned by the aroma of the food, exclaimed, it can't be. His cooking skills are so good. Wang Jingyang sneered coldly. Keep a low profile. It's all because of your innate talent. Even Lingyu, who was preoccupied with her own thoughts, was mesmerized by Wang Jingyang's cooking. Try it. Don't stand on ceremony. Lin Yan grinned. Then we won't stand on ceremony. Xing Chen was the first to pick up a piece of chicken. He had just placed it in his mouth when he realized that Lingyu was glaring at him coldly. Xing Chen pushed the chicken away from his mouth and placed it in Lingyu's bowl. Lin Yan was speechless. His desire to live, everyone exclaimed in admiration when they picked up their chopsticks. They couldn't stop praising Wang Jingyang. Brother Wang Jingyang, I have an idea. Xing Chen's eyes trailed to Wang Jingyang as he said, I'll open a 5-star hotel. You can be the chef and we'll split the profits equally. Before Wang Jingyang could reply, Lin Yan frowned. Get lost. How dare you poach my man in front of me? Hearing that, Xing Chen smiled awkwardly. Miss Lin, why don't we work together? I feel that with brother Wang Jingyang's culinary skills, if he doesn't do something and become a chef, then it's really. Our racing team lacks a chef. If brother Wang Jingyang is willing to come, our team will pay this price. Qi Feng looked at Wang Jingyang and said. Get lost. I'm not only good at cooking, I'm also a hacker. Am I going to be a network administrator? Wang Jingyang said coldly. That's fine too. I'll invest. Let's open an internet cafe and split the money we earn. Qi Feng said. Lin Yan was speechless. Wang Jingyang, Xing Chen, hackers and internet cafes. How were they related? Where's the wine? Why didn't you buy any, Miss Lin? Qi Feng was enjoying his meal when he realized that there was only plain water on the table. Why would we drink? We're racers. We don't drive when we drink. We don't drink when we drive, Lin Yan replied. Qi Feng was confused. Miss Lin, I know that apart from being evolved humans, we're also excellent racers. However, what does this have to do with me drinking now? I'm not competing, I'm not on the track, and I'm not driving. Why can't I drink? Lin Yan, you're too stingy. We paid you so much, but you didn't even prepare any wine for us. Aren't you embarrassed? Wang Jingyang frowned at Lin Yan. Lin Yan was speechless. End of this chapter. Chapter 1025. Brother Xing Chen, do you want to drink? Qi Feng looked at Xing Chen. Hearing this, Xing Chen smiled and nodded. It doesn't matter whether I want to or not. It's fine if I don't drink. The main thing is that the dishes are too delicious. I feel that if I don't drink a cup or two, I'd be letting down brother Wang Jingyang's cooking. Miss Lin Yan, go and buy alcohol. Qi Feng glanced at Lin Yan. Lin Yan was speechless. Xiaofan, let me go. There's a new bar that sells good alcohol. You don't know the way, Wang Jingyang told Lin Yan. Okay, go ahead. Be careful. Lin Yan nodded. Are you done? Wang Jingyang stared at Lin Yan intently. What's wrong? Lin Yan was puzzled. I'm going to run an errand to buy alcohol. You should pay for it. Aren't you treating me? Wang Jingyang said angrily. Lin Yan was speechless. How much? Asked Lin Yan curiously. 1,000 a bottle, Wang Jingyang answered honestly. Dog, although I'm not a human, you are a real dog. I'll give you 100 yuan to buy a carton of beer. If I don't drink you to death tonight, I'll change my surname to yours. Lin Yan glared at Wang Jingyang. 1 bottle of wine for 1,000? Are you kidding? At this time, the supermarkets are all closed. Only the liquor cabinet is open. 3 bottles are sold at a starting price of 1,000 a bottle. Do as you see fit. Wang Jingyang laughed. Let's drink beer. Replied Lin Yan. Why are you drinking beer? Qi Feng was immediately unhappy. I have gout. I can't drink beer. You're an evolved being, yet you have gout? The corners of Lin Yan's mouth twitched. She felt as though she had been insulted. Can't evolvers have gout? I can't control my genes. It's normal for me to get cancer, let alone gout. I don't care. I want a bottle of wine for 1,000 yuan. I can't drink beer, Qi Feng said. Lin Yan wanted to cry, but no tears would come. Why would she want to drink? She could save a lot of animals with 3,000 yuan. He could buy a lot of dog food and supplements, and he could also add some cat and dog kennels. These people were too extravagant. However, even though she said so, it was indeed not appropriate for her to go back on her words since she had said that she would treat them. Scan the code. Lin Yan gritted her teeth as she spoke to Wang Jingyang. Here. Wang Jingyang placed the QR code before Lin Yan. Wang Jingyang was all smiles when he received the money from Lin Yan. To buy alcohol. Lin Yan glanced at Wang Jingyang. What's the hurry? Wang Jingyang rolled his eyes at Lin Yan. Then, under everyone's astonished gazes, Wang Jingyang opened the drawer and took out 3 bottles of red wine. Lin Yan's jaw dropped to the ground as she stood rooted to the ground. Yan, look carefully. This red wine costs 1,000 yuan per bottle. I'm not lying to you. Wang Jingyang immediately placed 3 bottles of red wine on the dining table. Xing Chen stared at Wang Jingyang and suddenly clapped his hands. Chapter 10:26. There was wine at home, but he hadn't taken it out. She had even taken the initiative to fork out 3,000 yuan. You're a liar. Shameless. Lin Yan glared at Wang Jingyang. Wang Jingyang pursed his lips and glared at Lin Yan. How am I a liar? I did buy the wine, didn't I? Did it fly all the way to my house? 1,000 yuan per bottle isn't wrong. I didn't say that I went downstairs to buy the wine. Can't I buy it earlier? Seriously? You're ruthless. Lin Yan gave Wang Jingyang a thumbs up. This time, Wang Jingyang would never be able to cheat her of a cent again. Oh yeah, why did you buy the wine? Lin Yan glanced at Wang Jingyang with a puzzled expression. Based on Lin Yan's understanding of Wang Jingyang, he didn't smoke or drink. Why would there be wine at home? I bought it to wash my feet. Wang Jingyang sneered coldly. Doggy, is your skin itchy because I haven't hit you in 3 days? Lin Yan glared at Wang Jingyang and gritted her teeth. Wang Jingyang was speechless. Of course I bought the wine to drink. Am I really going to use it to wash my feet? Wang Jingyang sighed helplessly. Didn't you say that you don't drink? Lin Yan was puzzled. Have you forgotten that we used to drink beer together? Wang Jingyang quipped. You stopped after a few sips every time. Most of it was spat out secretly. Don't think that I don't know, quipped Lin Yan. Wang Jingyang chuckled and fell silent for a moment. Sometimes, I can't fall asleep. I want to taste what it feels like to be drunk. Let me tell you. That demoness is very powerful. You have to be careful. Don't offend her. After 3 rounds of wine, Xiaofan, who seemed a little tipsy, spoke to everyone. Xing Chen chimed in, Brother, didn't you say that the demoness is dead? Then, what's there to be afraid of? Sigh. How useless. Xing Chen had also drunk a lot and was slightly tipsy. He had already started to address Xiaofan as his brother. If Lin Yan hadn't stopped him, the 2 of them would have kowtowed and become sworn brothers. Then, the demoness is missing. Her disappearance might not mean that she's really dead. This demoness is very mysterious, and the power she founded is also very mysterious. Perhaps she's plotting something. Of course, what are we talking about today? Don't spread what we said today. If the demoness faction finds out, they'll kill me. Xiaofan said. Hearing that, Xing Chen pointed at Xiaofan and laughed. You think too highly of yourself. Their revolvers are so powerful. How would they know who you are? They even came to take revenge on you. You have no self-awareness. Xiaofan looked at Xing Chen and said, Me? What's wrong with me? I'm awesome too. I'm awesome in a lot of ways. We brothers have been together for a long time. You'll know in the future. Lin Yan was speechless. Ling Yu, Sister Yan, let's go back. They seem to have drunk too much, Ling Yu told Lin Yan. Lin Yan nodded when she heard Ling Yu. After everyone left, Wang Jingyang stood in front of the door and watched Lin Yan's back. He suddenly said, "Xiaoyan." Lin Yan turned around and met Wang Jingyang's eyes. Lin Yan seemed to have seen something in Wang Jingyang's eyes, but a certain emotion flashed past. It was as if it had never appeared before. End of this chapter. Chapter 1027. Doggy, what's wrong? Lin Yan stared at Wang Jingyang curiously. Wang Jingyang fell silent for a moment before replying, "Nothing. Be careful when you go back, okay? Don't worry, I'm an evolved being. Doggy, tell me if anyone bullies you in the future. I will definitely teach them a lesson for you." Lin Yan chuckled softly at Wang Jingyang. After Lin Yan left, Wang Jingyang closed the door. He glanced at the bottle of red wine on the table and gulped it down. On the way back, Ling Yu seemed troubled. She seemed to have something to say to Lin Yan, but she didn't say it. If Ling Yu wanted to say it, she would naturally say it. If Ling Yu didn't, Lin Yan naturally wouldn't ask. After returning to Cloud Manor, Lin Yan returned to her room. Before long, someone knocked on the door. Lin Yan stood up and opened the door. Ling Yu was standing outside. "Sister Yan, I have something to tell you," Ling Yu said to Lin Yan. "Come in." Lin Yan glanced at Ling Yu before turning to enter the room. Ling Yu sat on the couch, not knowing what to say. Lin Yan scrutinized Ling Yu for a moment before she said, "Xiaoye, ever since Qi Feng described the old man's face, you've been acting strangely. If you have anything to say, you can tell me." "It's fine." Ling Yu gritted her teeth. "Sister Yan, I'm afraid we are in big trouble." "Big trouble?" Lin Yan's expression changed when she heard Ling Yu. Ling Yu had always been a steady person and never spoke carelessly. For her to say, "big trouble," just how big was this trouble? "Xiaoye, don't be anxious. Tell me slowly. What trouble is it?" Lin Yan frowned at Ling Yu. "Sister Yan, do you know who the old man Qi Feng mentioned today is?" Ling Yu looked anxious. "Who is it?" Lin Yan asked curiously. "A member of the evolved being Death." Ling Yu explained to Lin Yan. Lin Yan's expression changed when she heard that. Were they the subordinates of the she-devil? "Xiaoye, don't be too anxious. Could there be a mistake?" "It can't be such a coincidence," Lin Yan analyzed. "There's no mistake." Ling Yu shook her head. "Everything he said is consistent. Besides, if I wasn't a member of Death, I wouldn't have allowed Qi Feng to film me. After the demoness disappeared, we lost contact, so I left Death and stayed by Brother Yu's side. If they found out, they wouldn't let me off. However, I always thought that I hid it well. It's all that fatty's fault." Lin Yan fell silent when she heard Ling Yu. Indeed, just as Ling Yu had said, a very strict evolver organization would never allow their own evolvers to betray them. Although Ling Yu was not considered a betrayal, in a sense, it was not much different from a betrayal. "It's not just me. Sister Yan, you look very similar to the demoness. This time, they asked Qi Feng to include you. I'm afraid that you will be implicated. If that's the case, the consequences will be unimaginable." Lin Yan didn't reply. Instead, she fell silent. Lin Yan grinned. "Xiaoye, don't worry." Chapter 1028. Actually, Lin Yan didn't care much about evolved beings like Death. That demoness had disappeared a long time ago, and she didn't know if she was dead or alive. Even if she hadn't disappeared, she wouldn't be afraid of her if they really fought. In front of her was a black-robed man, and behind her was Si Bai, who had a pure brain and unimaginable power. Which one of them wasn't a boss-level evolved being? But so what? Both of them had been defeated by her hands. The demoness was powerful, but was she more powerful than the two of them? Even if they were more powerful than Si Bai and the mysterious black-robed man, they might not necessarily be as powerful as her. Besides, this was Cloud Manor. If they wanted to touch them, they would have to think twice. Xiaoya, don't be afraid. Perhaps it's just a coincidence. It might not be what you think. Even if it is, I will stand up for you, okay? Lin Yan could only comfort Ling Yu when she saw her flustered expression. Before Lin Yan could respond, she heard a commotion in the yard. Ling Yu's expression changed drastically when she heard the noise. Oh no! They're here! Ling Yu glanced at Lin Yan in fear. Lin Yan was speechless. Lin Yan felt that Ling Yu was a little frightened. Ling Yu, what are you waiting for? Before Lin Yan could speak, an old man's voice was heard. Even Lin Yan's expression changed when she heard that. Was this the fastest slap in history? Sister Yan, let's run. Ling Yu grabbed Lin Yan's hand. Lin Yan shook her head without the slightest hint of panic on her face. She smiled at Ling Yu. They are outside. Where can we go? There aren't many people in Cloud Manor these few days. We can only rely on ourselves. Then, Sister Yan, I'll go out. You stay and hide in the house. Don't show yourself. Ling Yu's eyes were filled with determination. Do you think your sister Yan is like Qifeng? Do you think she's a disloyal person? Lin Yan grinned. Ling Yu was speechless. Don't be afraid. Let's go out and meet them. Lin Yan pulled Ling Yu out. There was a creak. Lin Yan pushed the door open. There were about 7 or 8 people in the courtyard. They were all young men, and there was only one old man. This old man's appearance was just as Qifeng had described. It was quite recognizable. The moment Lin Yan appeared, the old man's eyes were drawn to her as he scrutinized her face. Similar, too similar, simply like the same person. In this world, there were actually 2 people who were so similar. It was truly inconceivable. The old man retracted his gaze from Lin Yan and turned to Ling Yu. Ling Yu, you should know what will happen to you. Do you need me to repeat it to you? The old man said expressionlessly as he looked at Ling Yu. Ling Yu's expression changed when she heard the old man's words. Do you want to leave with me, or do you want me to bring you away from this place? Chapter 1029. It would have been fine if this woman hadn't known that they were Dern. However, since she knew, she acted as though she didn't care. There was even a hint of disdain and provocation in her tone. To be honest, he had never met such a person before. How could someone complain about living too long? Ling Yu remained silent as she racked her brains to come up with a solution. Ling Yu's eyes flickered as she came up with a bold plan. How dare you? Suddenly, Ling Yu bellowed at the old man. My lord is here. How dare you behave atrociously? My lord? The old man stared at Ling Yu before turning to Lin Yan. The corners of his mouth curled up. Ling Yu, is she the lord you mentioned? Why? Don't you know my lord? Ling Yu hissed coldly. Although this woman resembles my lord, she can't be the same person, replied the old man. Why? Are you really my lord? The old man glanced at Lin Yan with interest. Of course not, replied Lin Yan nonchalantly. Lin Yan's reply surprised the old man. The old man originally thought that this woman would also insist that she was the lord, but she denied it. She actually denied it. Why? Am I really that similar to your lord? Many people have mistaken me for her, quipped Lin Yan curiously. Ling Yu was speechless. She had finally thought of a brilliant plan, but Sister Yan hadn't cooperated at all. I advise all of you not to cause trouble for Ling Yu in the future. She has nothing to do with death. If you continue to cause trouble for Ling Yu and me, you have to consider the consequences. Lin Yan grinned at them. Are you provoking death? The old man stared at Lin Yan expressionlessly. The corners of Lin Yan's mouth curled up as she sneered coldly. Why? Wasn't I obvious enough? Who do you think you are? I don't even care about the Hunters Guild. Why would I be afraid of a bunch of useless soldiers like you? The old man was about to retort when Lin Yan added, even if your lord came personally, I wouldn't care. Ling Yu turned pale in fright. Indeed, Lin Yan was very powerful. However, compared to her lord, she was still inferior. The two of them weren't even on the same level. Ling Yu had assumed that Lin Yan's words would infuriate the old man. To Ling Yu's surprise, Lin Yan's words made the old man hesitant. The old man stared at Lin Yan in confusion. Just where did this woman come from? She was actually able to say that even if the Lord came personally, she wouldn't be afraid. Apart from that, he could sense a powerful telekinesis that didn't belong to her. It was as though he would anger a hidden existence the moment he made a move. Pei family mansion. In the study. Pei Yucheng removed his glasses and his body emitted a frightening, powerful force. It was as though this force could break through the clouds and reach the shore at any moment. Cloud Manor. The old man did not say anything, nor did he attack. In fact, he did not even make any movements. He was just quietly thinking about something. Our Lord has been missing for a long time and has never appeared. Therefore, it is naturally impossible for him to come personally. You and our Lord are really similar, so similar that even I can't tell if you are the same person. The old man grinned at Lin Yan. Chapter 1030. After the man left, He Muyun heaved a sigh of relief. He Muyun didn't know who the man and woman were, but their actions made it hard for her to breathe. He Muyun racked her brains, but she didn't have any impression of them. It was impossible for them to have interacted with each other. He Muyun couldn't understand why the man and woman had addressed Lin Yan as little sister. She was certain that they weren't from the Mu family. Given their age, if they were, she would have recognized them. At the very least, she would have some recollection of them. A few minutes later, the man and the woman in the Cheongsam appeared at a secluded spot. Brother 5, someone is here. The woman stood beside the man and whispered to him. As soon as the voice of the woman in Cheongsam fell, a short man silently appeared in front of the two of them. Brother 3. The woman in the Cheongsam greeted the man. The man in front of him was only about 1.3 meters tall and looked like a dwarf. He had a very unique hairstyle and was wearing a custom-made short suit. The dwarf scanned the man and the woman in the Cheongsam before he said, Brother 5, follow me back. The man in the leather suit grinned. Brother 3, are you ordering me? The dwarf was expressionless as he replied softly, Of course, you can choose to reject me. I'm just passing on Father's words. Father. Hearing the dwarf mention his father, the man in the leather jacket had a solemn expression on his face. The woman in the Cheongsam looked nervous. Brother 5 wouldn't dare to disobey his father. Father asked you to come, the man in the leather suit said thoughtfully. That's right. Since father asked me to go back, let's go. The man in the leather suit compromised. Brother 5, little sister. The woman in the Cheongsam frowned. Their appearance must have caused trouble for little sister. If they left just like that, Brother 3, did father ask 10th sister to come back with us? Asked the man in the leather suit. Father didn't mention 10th sister, replied the dwarf. The man in the leather suit shot the woman in the Cheongsam a look. The woman in the Cheongsam understood and turned to leave. Senior sister, why aren't you leaving? Bai he asked as the car slowed down. We're out of gas. Let's go to the gas station first, replied Lin Yan. Senior sister, please stop for a moment, Bai he said. What's wrong? Lin Yan was confused. My stomach hurts, I need to go to the bathroom, Bai he said. Lin Yan was speechless. Do you think there's a bathroom here? Lin Yan snapped. Lin Yan had no choice but to stop the car helplessly when she saw the look on the white crane's face. Find a secluded place. After some time, Lin Yan began to feel drowsy in the car. By the time Lin Yan woke up, it was already pitch black. Lin Yan opened her eyes and peered out of the window in disbelief. She hadn't seen wrongly. It was indeed late at night. Chapter 1031. Duo quipped, I heard that they choose their spokesperson like an emperor choosing his concubine. They have to be good-looking, have a good family background, have good education, and be proficient in 8 languages. Lin Yan looked surprised as she listened. They have to be good-looking, have good family background, have good education, and be proficient in 8 languages. Isn't this tailor-made for me? I'm so suitable. Duo was exasperated. She didn't even want to complain about her anymore. She had started again. Who had given her the courage? Not to mention other things, just in terms of education, with her high school education, she would never be able to step into the door of KNO, okay? However, Duo didn't say anything, for fear of hurting Lin Yan's pride. Lin Yan chuckled softly. But I like their brand. It's not that fancy, and it's comfortable. She remembered that this brand had approached her when she had been racing overseas. However, she had rejected them because she had been too busy with competitions. However, they had been nice to her. Although they hadn't worked together, they had still sponsored her a lot of clothes. She had liked their designs, so she had worn them frequently to promote their brand. However, her status was different now. Given her status as an artist, it wasn't likely that she would get the endorsement. Although she had a good image after the charity event, she still wasn't considered a high-end celebrity. It didn't match their family's image. Duo was reading the documents when she suddenly exclaimed in excitement, Wow! KNO's president, Ji Mingzhi, is so handsome. He's a mixed race and he graduated from MIT. MIT? Lin Yan stroked her chin. Which year? Lin Yan leaned closer to read Duo's report. Hey! He's my senior from the previous batch. However, she didn't seem to have any recollection of Ji Mingzhi. She didn't think that she knew him. Back then, she had been busy studying and hadn't had much interaction with anyone. She hadn't even been able to recognize everyone from this year, let alone the previous one. Duo was puzzled. Sister Yan, what did you say? What senior? Lin Yan shook her head. Nothing. Continue. Duo continued gossiping as she flipped through the documents. According to the documents, Ji Mingzhi had a double major at MIT. Besides finance, he also majored in aerodynamics. Sister Ling, what does aerodynamics do? Zhao Hongling thought for a while and said, I don't know much about it. This major is indeed a little uncommon. Zhao Hongling had barely finished her sentence when Lin Yan's voice rang out. Aerodynamics is a branch of mechanics that studies the mechanical properties of aircraft or other objects when they are in motion with air or other gases. It also studies the flow of gases, as well as the physical and chemical changes that occur. It is a discipline based on fluid mechanics and has grown along with the development of the aviation industry and jet propulsion technology. Its corresponding majors are mostly aerospace and automobile design. Without thinking, Lin Yan blurted out the question. Halfway through his sentence, he noticed that Toto and Zhao Hongling were looking at him in surprise. Sister Yan, how do you know so much? Duo looked surprised. Zhao Hongling was taken aback as well. Chapter 1032. Senior Sister? He scanned the area in confusion. Lin Yan and the car were nowhere to be seen. Senior Sister, where are you? He shouted at the surroundings, but there was no response. What's going on? He frowned. How long had it been? Both the car and the person were gone. He suspected that Lin Yan had driven off on her own. He took out the phone that Lin Yan had given him and dialed Lin Yan's number. He placed the phone next to his ear, but the busy tone didn't connect. He felt that something was amiss. Based on his understanding of Lin Yan wouldn't abandon him and drive off on her own. He had no idea what had happened. Perhaps Lin Yan had really driven off. Lin Yan tossed and turned in the car, unable to fall asleep. This had nothing to do with her comfort level, but the surroundings and what had happened made her unable to fall asleep. Lin Yan swore that she had never seen such a dark night before. There was no light in the car. It was so dark that Lin Yan began to doubt her own existence. Her surroundings were eerily quiet. Even when she opened the door, she couldn't hear a single sound. It was as though she was in a sealed space. In the car, Lin Yan inhaled deeply and felt a little sleepy as she sat in the driver's seat. After some time, Lin Yan opened her eyes slowly. However, the moment she opened her eyes, Lin Yan's entire body shuddered as a look of disbelief and shock appeared on her face. Through the window, Lin Yan realized that the sky was still dark. How could this be? Lin Yan hurriedly opened the door and got out of the car. Lin Yan didn't sleep soundly, but she could still sense the passage of time. She had slept for at least a few hours. Under normal circumstances, the sky should be bright by now. Lin Yan looked even more dazed and confused. Although it was still dark, it wasn't so dark that she couldn't see her fingers. Lin Yan could vaguely see the car behind her. Lin Yan could even hear a sound that sounded like the sound of flowing water. Lin Yan felt a sense of security when she could see. She scanned her surroundings carefully. The moment she did, Lin Yan froze on the spot. Her current location had nothing to do with the place where the car was parked in her memory. Lin Yan scanned the area ahead as though she was looking at an ocean. Instinctively, Lin Yan dashed forward. A few minutes later, Lin Yan stared at the ocean, dumbfounded. Where had this ocean come from? At a glance, there was no end, and there were no buildings in the surroundings. Lin Yan stared at the ocean in a daze. She had no idea what had happened or where she was. She even suspected that she was no longer in the capital city. At the very least, as far as Lin Yan could remember, there was no such sea in the capital city. Lin Yan hurriedly opened the hood of the car to inspect it. There were indeed some malfunctions, but they weren't serious. To Lin Yan, such minor malfunctions were child's play. 15 minutes later, Lin Yan returned to the car and reignited it. This time, the car started smoothly, and the lights in the car lit up. Lin Yan's eyebrows furrowed in delight as she hurriedly used the car charger to charge her phone. The book, Having You for the Rest of My Life, Sweet and Warm, would be available for pre-sale on November 1st, Sunday. There were a lot of benefits this time. There were autographed, stamped, signed letters, autographed photos, magazines, postcards, bookmarks, signboards, mouse pads, keychains, round mirrors, pillows, cards, marriage certificates, badges, photo frames, desserts, hand warmers, duct tape. Each shop had prepared different side benefits. The details of each shop's benefits would be announced around the 31st. At that time, the babies could choose whichever one they liked. End of this chapter. His chest was heaving up and down, as if he was still breathing weakly. After some internal struggle, Lin Yan walked over to the man and squatted down to study him. This person was not old, probably in his 20s. He seemed to have been severely injured by someone. End of chapter. Chapter 1036. Lin Yen jumped in fright when she heard that an evolved being had chased after her. Although there were still many things she wanted to figure out, the most important thing now was to escape this place. She didn't want to be implicated. Lin Yen instinctively glanced at the dashboard. Although there wasn't much fuel left in the tank, it was still enough. Sit tight. Lin Yen sat in the driver's seat and spoke without turning her head. A second later, Lin Yen started the car. Although she might not be a match for those evolved beings, she didn't believe that they would be able to catch up to her. Boom! She stepped on the accelerator and released the handbrake. The car roared. However, before Lin Yen could drive away, a white shadow flashed and blocked her way. That's fast. Lin Yan's heart tightened. This person was too fast, so fast that she couldn't even react. Lin Yen instinctively turned to look at the car. She was startled and frowned. She rubbed her eyes, thinking that her eyes were playing tricks on her. Lin Yen focused her eyes and realized that she hadn't seen wrongly. The person standing in front of the car was tall and tall. He was about 3 meters tall and had white fur. To be precise, the thing that was blocking the front of the car didn't look like a human. However, it had hands and feet and stood like a human. Lin Yan's heart pounded. Was she dreaming? Was she going to see a legendary monster in her lifetime? Lin Yan switched to reverse and stepped on the accelerator. She wanted the car to go in the opposite direction. To Lin Yan's surprise, the car seemed to have been caught by the monster. The 4 wheels spun frantically, but the car didn't move at all. Without any hesitation, Lin Yen opened the car door and rolled out of the car. If the monster suddenly attacked, it would probably smash her car flat with a punch. Wouldn't she be like meat in a burger? When she reached the ground, Lin Yen immediately retreated to the back of the car. She didn't want to attract the monster's attention. However, Lin Yen realized that a pair of round eyes was scrutinizing her. Lin Yen muttered, F***ck. At that moment, Lin Yen finally got a clear look at the monster. It was a snow-white gorilla, even bigger than the silverback gorilla she had seen in the zoo. Lin Yen could even sense an oppressive aura from the white gorilla, which made it hard for her to breathe. At this moment, the back seat door was opened and the man hurriedly got out. Damn! After seeing the white gorilla, the man's expression suddenly changed. The corners of his mouth twitched slightly. He wanted to cry but had no tears. Big brother, you're my big brother. I beg you, believe me. I really didn't kidnap your wife. I swear. As the man's voice fell, the white gorilla's eyes suddenly became somewhat fierce. Lin Yen studied the man intently. Chapter 1037. Zhao Hongling chuckled. To be honest, I'm not sure either. They didn't say anything. They only said that they had chosen Lin Yen and sent me the contract. They also said, Lin Yen asked, what did they say? Zhao Hongling replied, they said that the fee was increased by 30%. They also said that if we think it's too low, we can raise it further. Lin Yen stroked her chin in confusion. That's weird. Do I really have a backer? But I don't know anyone from KNO. Take a look at the contract. I think that the fee is already very high. It wouldn't be good for you if you asked for a higher price. Zhao Hongling added, if you think it's fine, sign the contract and attend KNO's fashion gala. They will announce it then. Lin Yen was taken aback. Why do I feel as though a pie has fallen from the sky? Is this a scam? She had never seen anyone give away money like this. It was as though they were afraid that she would reject them. Zhao Hongling grinned. Don't worry. I have already read the contract. There's nothing wrong with it. Besides, K&O is such a big company. They have no reason to cheat us. However, this is indeed a little strange. I can only guess that you performed well and the interviewer took a liking to you. This is not unheard of. Indeed, she was confident in Lin Yen. If it hadn't been for her lack of education, she would have fought for this contract. Compared to Lin Shuya's delicate style, Lin Yen was more suitable for K&O's brand. Lin Yen pondered for a long time, but this was the only possibility she could come up with. In the end, she didn't dwell on it. Since Zhao Hongling had passed the interview, there was no reason for her to reject the money. Hence, she signed the contract. Meanwhile, in the president's office on the top floor of K&O's branch, Ji Mingzhi's ashtray was full of cigarette butts, and the office was filled with smoke. The man seemed to be very anxious, and his face was full of worry. Someone knocked on the door and he turned to his assistant. How did it go? Did you agree? The assistant replied hastily, yes, yes. The contract has been signed. Don't worry, boss. Ji Mingzhi heaved a sigh of relief as if he had accomplished something very important. He pinched the space between his eyebrows and said, that's good. By the way, I'm going to personally plan the fashion banquet of K&O. The assistant looked even more surprised. Yes, what kind of person was their boss? He was the CEO of the K&O business empire and the heir of the Ji family, a well-known Chinese aristocratic family in M Nation. Unlike those playboys who relied on their families to learn nothing, the boss himself was very outstanding. He had a double degree from MIT, and he was one of the best in both family affairs and academic ability. Wasn't Lin Yen just a small-time artist in the country? Apparently, he didn't even graduate from ignorant and incompetent high school and only managed to clear his name by doing charity work. How could such an unpresentable woman become the boss's first love? Moreover, the boss couldn't forget her for so many years and even went against everyone's opinion to make her the spokesperson of K&O. Ever since the boss took over the company, he had never done anything so lustful. Who would have thought that he would make an exception for such a small artist? Shortly after Lin Yen received the news, Lin Shuya received a notification from K&O. Unfortunately, Lin Shuya wasn't selected. Chapter 1038. When she heard the news from her agent, Lin Shuya's smug expression froze. What did you say? He Shanshan panicked as well. Are you sure you're not mistaken? Just now, my cousin-in-law called to tell me that Sister Shuya has already been chosen. How could she have failed? Her agent's expression darkened. I found it strange too. I confirmed with them that they didn't choose Shuya. They chose someone else. Someone else? Who is it? How dare they snatch Shuya's endorsement? He Shanshan said angrily. Her agent shook her head. I didn't manage to find out anything. They said that it has to be kept a secret before the official announcement. We can only find out during the K&O fashion gala. Lin Shuya calmed down after a brief moment of anger. Many of the actresses at the audition are pretty good, her agent nodded. Yeah. Xiaofan from Conglomerate Stars and Zhao Yixuan from Xinhua Film and Television are all possible candidates, she comforted Lin Shuya. It's okay. Don't be discouraged. It's not easy to get the endorsement. We didn't have a 100% chance of getting it. We can look for other resources later. Lin Shuya's face turned pale. But K&O is the best endorsement we can find. It suits my current image. Where can we find another one? Her agent knew that Lin Shuya was right. She looked embarrassed. However, KNO's candidates had already been chosen. There was nothing she could do about it. Shuya, why don't you ask young Master Han for help? Doesn't he know Boss G? Her agent suggested. Lin Shuya pinched her eyebrows. Brother Xiaofan has been very busy recently. I don't want to bother him with these things. Forget it. Since it has already been snatched, I don't think there will be any changes. After the previous incident, Han Xiaofan had become much colder towards her. She had put in a lot of effort to win Han Xiaofan's heart back. She knew that she couldn't continue to use these things to get Han Xiaofan's help. Otherwise, he would think that she was using him. However, she wanted to see who had the guts to snatch her endorsement deal. Regardless of who it was, she could use the public's opinion to say that someone had snatched her endorsement. Soon, it was the day of the KNO Fashion Gala. Many celebrities in the business and entertainment circles were invited. The night before, Lin Yan had received a custom-made gown, shoes, and a full set of jewelry from KNO's president. If Lin Yan hadn't told him that she had her own makeup artist, he would have arranged for a team of stylists. Besides Duo, Zhao Hongling had also accompanied Lin Yan to the event because it was an important event. Lin Yan had just sent her enthusiastic assistant away when she clicked her tongue. What the? Is KNO so arrogant? Duoduo's eyes sparkled as she studied Lin Yan's outfit. Sister Yan, your outfit and accessories cost at least 10 million yuan. This time, the sugar daddy is really too generous. Ji Mingzhi would only be there as a formality. He wouldn't interfere too much with the decisions of the advertising department. There was definitely no problem with her conditions. She was just afraid that someone had used their connections in Mai Lui. As they toasted each other, almost all the guests had arrived. Soon, KNO's president, Ji Mingzhi, arrived under the watchful eyes of the senior executives and celebrities. Tonight, Ji Mingzhi, who had always dressed fashionably, wore a retro black suit. It was a classic and formal style, which made him look even more noble and intimidating. He was not inferior to any of the male artists present at the scene. She had kicked Sibai and punched a high-level evolved being. That was the truth. Perhaps Wu Yu was right. The Hunters Guild really didn't dare to attack her openly, so they plotted against her. That was very likely. Had she become so powerful unknowingly? I admit that I do charity work, but you can't use it to snatch resources. Otherwise, wouldn't everyone just need to pretend to donate some money to get a big-name endorsement? What's the difference between that and spending money on endorsements? That's right. One thing was another. This is so unfair. I heard that Lin Shuya had already been selected as the spokesperson. However, Lin Yan snatched her away. F***ck, it can't be. Based on the feud between Lin Yan and Lin Shuya, it's possible. Although Lin Shuya snatched Lin Yan's angel shelter, it's also true that Lin Yan tried to seduce Lin Shuya's fiancée. Don't forget that. End of this chapter. They had guessed that Lin Yan must have used her connections in KNO. However, they had never imagined that Lin Yan would have used Ji Mingzhi's connections. Ji Mingzhi glanced at Han Yixuan and Lin Shuya, who didn't seem to notice his mocking gaze. He continued unhurriedly, Lin Yan rejected me. Why would she try to snatch Miss Lin Shuya's boyfriend? This is really interesting. Han Yixuan's face turned as black as the bottom of a pot when he heard Ji Mingzhi, while Lin Shuya's face turned ashen. It's normal for me to have heard of it, explained Lin Yan. That's true, Azure Dragon said thoughtfully, maybe I've lived in this place for too long, and I've lost track of the outside world. Before Lin Yan could reply, Azure Dragon's gaze swept into the distance. The man who came with you should know where the exit is. You can leave. Both Wu Yu and Lin Yan were startled when they heard that. Without giving Lin Yan a chance to speak, Azure Dragon added, from the moment he dug the dog hole to the moment he found the exit, he did it right under my nose. I naturally know what you want to do. End of this chapter. Chapter 1046. The rest of them had wanted to persuade Ji Mingzhi, but when they saw his attitude, they shrank back in fear. They could only watch anxiously. Ji Mingzhi didn't want to waste time talking to them. He straightened his collar and sleeves and strode over to Lin Yan. The higher-ups could only watch anxiously. What should we do? Do you think boss will change his mind? Things have already come to this. I don't think boss will be so reckless. However, they had no choice but to wait and see Ji Mingzhi's attitude. On the stage, the host had finished his speech and was inviting Ji Mingzhi to speak. In an instant, everyone's attention was on Ji Mingzhi. The closer Ji Mingzhi got to Lin Yan, the more unsteady his steps became. He forced himself not to lose his composure. In the end, he managed to maintain his elegant demeanor as he strode over to Lin Yan. Lin Yan was so careless that even the people around her could vaguely sense that Ji Mingzhi's gaze was burning. However, she didn't realize that Ji Mingzhi was looking at her differently. When Ji Mingzhi approached her, Lin Yan felt that he looked familiar. She wondered where she had seen him before. Ji Mingzhi finally stopped in front of Lin Yan. His palms were drenched in sweat as he stared intently at the girl before him. He was afraid that she was just an illusion. Then, he said softly, "Long time no see." Lin Yan blinked her eyes in confusion. Huh? What did he mean by long time no see? Had they met before? Ji Mingzhi's face stiffened when he noticed that Lin Yan looked at him as though he was a stranger. Lin Yan thought that she had heard wrongly when Ji Mingzhi remained silent. Hence, she took the initiative to greet her sugar daddy. Hi, President Ji. It's our first time meeting. It's an honor to work with your company. Ji Mingzhi felt as though a pail of ice water had been splashed on his face. He stood there in a daze. He looked confused, helpless, and aggrieved. He looked like a puppy that had been forgotten by its owner. Don't you remember me? Ji Mingzhi clenched his fists as his heart ached. He had never thought that the white moonlight that he could not forget for so many years had actually completely forgotten about him. Lin Yan was even more confused when she heard this. However, she didn't know how to beat around the bush, so she instinctively asked, "President Ji, do we know each other?" Ji Mingzhi, this time, Ji Mingzhi's heart was truly broken. Ji Mingzhi took a deep breath to calm himself down. He lowered his head and smiled bitterly. It's okay. It's good to get to know each other again. After that, Ji Mingzhi looked at the girl in front of him with a burning gaze. He extended his hand to her and said, "Let me introduce myself. I'm Ji Mingzhi, your future business partner. I'm very happy that you can endorse KNO." Lin Yan shook Ji Mingzhi's hand politely. Ji Mingzhi subconsciously tightened his grip on the girl's hand, but he didn't dare to go too far. Chapter 1047. Lin Yan frowned when she heard Si Bai's explanation. After the laboratory's transformation, even their appearances could be the same? Si Bai, who could sense Lin Yan's confusion, said, "As far as I know, high-level laboratories have the strongest genetic modification. However, there's something strange. The Demoness didn't have such a modification technology back then. Unless..." Si Bai sized Lin Yan up. "Unless what?" "Unless you have a twin sister. There's a chance of achieving the same effect," said Si Bai. "I really don't have one. Why don't I ask my mom?" "If I do, I'll definitely tell you," Lin Yan replied helplessly. "I believe you. You can let me go now," said Si Bai. "Let you go?" Lin Yan stared at Si Bai and made a decision in a few seconds. She untied the ropes on Si Bai's body. Si Bai, who had regained his freedom, glared at Lin Yan and said coldly, "You're naive. I said it casually and you let me go. Aren't you afraid that I'm acting? Firstly, you might not be able to defeat me. Secondly, I have a very strong helper. Even if I can't defeat you, you have to think about whether you can walk out of this basement." Lin Yan smiled at Si Bai without the slightest fear. "Lin Yan, you're indeed courageous. It was my fault for not investigating the matter clearly. Even so, you must have some connection with that Demoness," said Si Bai. "It's up to you whether you believe me or not. Anyway, I don't know her. Besides, she kidnapped my friend." "I won't let her off," replied Lin Yan. "Very well, I believe you. We have a common enemy now, but I'm still unwilling to give up." Si Bai's eyes were cold. "What's wrong now?" Lin Yan felt increasingly helpless. Why did he act like a child and need her to coax him? "I have a good relationship with Xiaoyao. He actually betrayed his friend for you." "He's not human," said Si Bai. Lin Yan could only laugh and muddle through this matter. Otherwise, why would she scold Xiaoyao with him? She would be too cruel and unscrupulous. "Lin Yan, what's wrong with this woman?" Si Bai glanced at the white-veiled woman. Lin Yan didn't hide anything and told Si Bai everything that had happened. "This matter is definitely not simple. She probably captured your friend because she wants to use your friend's genes as a mother to create an even more powerful evolver. I'm afraid you don't have the ability to save your friend," Si Bai said. "Wang Jingyang? A powerful mother?" The corners of Lin Yan's mouth twitched. She couldn't associate Wang Jingyang with a powerful mother. Besides, Wang Jingyang wasn't an evolved being. "I still have some personal matters to deal with. Consider it as me owing you a favor for harassing you for so long." Before Lin Yan could speak, Si Bai had already left. After Si Bai left, Lin Yan began to interrogate the white-veiled woman about Wang Jingyang's whereabouts. However, the white-veiled woman's mouth seemed to be made of iron. But why would the underground prison that the Hunters Guild used to imprison evolved humans be built under this laboratory? Could it be that this laboratory belonged to the Hunters Guild? Of course, this was merely Lin Yan's guess. If the Hunters Guild was in cahoots with the Demoness, the owner of this laboratory might be the Demoness as well. The laboratory had long since been abandoned. There were cobwebs everywhere, and the laboratory was covered in dust. Chapter 1050. Before Lin Yan could mull over this, Bai he called. After leaving the prison, Lin Yan's phone finally had a signal. Lin Yan answered Bai he's call almost immediately. "Senior sister, is that you? Say something." Baihe's voice came through the phone. "It's me," Lin Yan replied softly. "Senior sister, where did you go? You were gone when I came back. I couldn't get through to you. I was so worried. Are you alright? Did you meet a robber? Did you tell them my name?" Lin Yan was speechless. "I'll settle the score with you when we get back." Lin Yan hung up. This little bodyguard wasn't doing his job at all. Fortunately, he had met Green Dragon, a member of the Mountain Sea Guild. Otherwise, he wouldn't even know how he had died. "Big sister, let's go. We can't stay here for long. If we meet the Hunters Guild and that demoness, all our efforts will be in vain." Wu Yu hurriedly spoke up when he saw that Lin Yan was in the mood to tour the dilapidated laboratory. Lin Yan nodded and left with Wu Yu. This was a blessing in disguise. At least she had some information about the laboratory. If it had nothing to do with the Hunters Guild, then the demoness was most likely the owner of the laboratory. The laboratory was built in the deep forest of a remote mountain village. The two of them walked from day to night before they saw the road. "Big sister." Suddenly, Wu Yu called out to Lin Yan. Lin Yan glanced at Wu Yu in confusion. As the saying goes, all good things must come to an end. Let's part ways here. Do you have money? Give me some. Wu Yu smiled brightly. I'll take a taxi for dinner. Lin Yan instinctively shook her head. No. Wu Yu was speechless. Sister, give me some. We've been through thick and thin together, Wu Yu said. Lin Yan pondered it for a moment before she replied, we can go through thick and thin together. We can also go through thick and thin together. Wu Yu smiled. Then, I don't have money. Lin Yan shook her head. Sister, why are you so stingy? Do you think I'm someone who needs money? You borrowed it from me. I'll pay you back 5 times. Wu Yu replied. Lin Yan pondered for a moment. Wu Yu didn't seem like someone who needed money. 10 times, replied Lin Yan. Wu Yu was taken aback. He had never imagined that Lin Yan would be such a person. Fine, fine, fine. I want cash. Just leave me your phone number or any other contact information. I'll contact you later. Lin Yan had brought some cash with her. Initially, she had wanted to lend Wu Yu $1,000. However, when she realized that she had to repay him tenfold, she gritted her teeth and gave Wu Yu $2,000. Wu Yu, if you don't contact me and return my money. Lin Yan gazed at the smiling Wu Yu intently. I will definitely find you. Think about the consequences yourself. I've seen stingy people before. Sister, this is the first time I've seen someone so stingy. Wu Yu sighed as he took the money from Lin Yan's hands. Immediately, Wu Yu hailed a taxi and got in without looking back. Don't forget to contact me. Lin Yan couldn't help but warn Wu Yu. After Wu Yu left, Lin Yan hailed a cab as well. Lin Yan whipped out her phone. His phone was connected to his car's dashboard recorder, so he could see everything that had happened while he was dozing off from his phone. Lin Yan's heart ached again. She had left her car in that godforsaken place. She had spent a lot of money to buy it. Chapter 1052. Lin Yan had wanted to use this to make Ji Mingzhe give up. However, she hadn't expected that he wouldn't mind at all. In fact, he seemed even more determined. There was nothing wrong with what he had said, so Lin Yan couldn't refute him. Fortunately, Zhao Hongling and Duo walked over. Ji Mingzhe's assistant seemed to have something to discuss with him, so Ji Mingzhe reluctantly left. The moment Ji Mingzhe left, Duo hugged Lin Yan excitedly. Oh my God! Oh my God! Sister Yan, you graduated from MIT. You're Ji Mingzhi's junior. You're hiding it too well. You didn't even tell us. You're too much. Plenty angrily complained. Lin Yan rolled her eyes at her. Baby, please recall carefully. When did I hide anything from you? Didn't I tell you clearly that I have a master's degree from MIT? Lin Yan had said this not too long ago, so Duo recalled it easily. She was rendered speechless by Lin Yan's words. She blinked her eyes in shock. How would I know that you were telling the truth? I thought you were joking with me. Lin Yan grinned teasingly. When have I ever lied to you? Plenty carefully thought about it. It seemed like, there really wasn't, almost every time she thought that Lin Yan had said something unbelievable, it would turn out to be true. Duo looked horrified. Sister Yan, you're too scary. Are you sure you're not hiding anything from me? Lin Yan rubbed her nose. Ahem. I don't think so. She was about to lose all her disguises. Yeva and Pei Yucheng were her final stubbornness. After KNO's fashion event, KNO's president confessed to Lin Yan at MIT, and KNO's president's first love were all trending topics. The people who had used Lin Shuya to oppress Lin Yan and mocked her changed sides instantly. Lin Shuya had always proclaimed herself to be a genius, yet she had become a joke in front of Lin Yan. Lin Shuya is merely an art student who graduated from the Imperial Film Academy. How dare she brag about being a top student? Even MIT didn't say anything about it. That's the world's publicly acknowledged hardest exam, the Holy Temple of Science and Engineering. What's a real big shot? That's the real deal. He has such an amazing educational background, but he's never used it to show off. I'm just curious. Why did Lin Yan choose such an obscure major? Does she want to specialize in aeronautics and astronautics? This is the real-life version of wanting to ascend to the heavens, because not many people knew about this profession. They did not think about racing for the time being, nor did they continue to dig. Most people's focus was still on the scandals and gossip. I'm a fan of KNO's CEO. I almost thought that he was the kind of person who was obsessed with sex, but now I actually feel that he's easy to spoil. Did you see his expression when he said that Lin Yan was his junior? Yes. They're so cute. I suddenly feel like they're a good match, right? When Lin Yan returned to the villa that night, she shuddered in fear as she read the trending topics and comments online. Pei Yutong must have seen the gossip online, so he had called her several times. Needless to say, he had to be asking about this matter. Lin Yan didn't pick up his calls as she was feeling vexed. Instead, she sent him a message to warn him not to tell Pei Yucheng. Fortunately, Pei Yucheng wasn't in the country, so the news wouldn't spread so quickly. She would have to think of a solution first. Mini-drama. Ji Mingzhi typed, Lin Yan and I can become KNO's owner if she wants to. Pei Yucheng flung his marriage certificate at him. Sorry, she's already KNO's owner. Chapter 1053. At night, at Cloud Manor, one could vaguely hear the sound of two kittens snoring in the room. Lin Yan had fallen into a deep sleep on the bed. Lin Yan's clothes were drenched in cold sweat as she tossed and turned in pain. Perhaps it was because she had suffered too much at the news conference that she had suddenly had a nightmare in the middle of the night. Countless fragments of memories formed a complete image that invaded Lin Yan's mind. The scene in her sleep was unimaginable. The little girl had been thrown into the deep sea, and endless darkness enveloped everything. There was no warmth in the cold seawater, and the powerful water pressure seemed to be able to squeeze the girl into pieces at any time. Just as she was in despair, a certain killer whale swam over at an extremely fast speed and rushed out of the deep sea with the little girl. The girl coughed violently, looking extremely pathetic. There was only seawater around her, and under the moonlight, the surface of the seawater glowed strangely. From time to time, huge fish would fly out of the water and land in the ocean, stirring up countless waves. On land, yellow sand stretched for thousands of miles. A group of young men and women walked in the desert. This group of young men and women was wearing a uniform cloak, and each of them emitted a powerful aura that made one tremble in fear. As these people walked, a strong aura gathered, as though it could devour the world. The surrounding storm rolled up the yellow sand, and dark clouds shrouded the area. From time to time, thunder would appear. However, this extremely bad weather didn't pose any threat or confusion to these young men and women. An invisible barrier enveloped everyone, and the strong aura emitted from the men and women was enough to easily disperse the storm. Occasionally, some caravans that were transporting evolved beings passed by. When they saw the clothes on these young men and women, their expressions changed drastically and they hurriedly changed directions. Mountain Sea? What is Mountain Sea? F***CK. You don't even know what Mountain Sea is? Mountain Sea is a group that is very famous in the evolved beings circle. It's a very mysterious organization. Many evolved beings have been swallowed by them, but their reputation among low-level evolved beings is very high. There aren't many members in Mountain Sea, but each of them is at least an S+ evolved being. Any one of them is enough to stir up a storm in the evolved beings circle. I heard that the most recent person to join the Mountain and Sea realm is the leader of the Third Heaven, Lord Xiaoji, who was given the codename by Zhe. Don't talk nonsense, it will bring about a fatal disaster. Every member has a fixed code name. Currently, there's Tengu, Vermilion Bird, Black Tortoise, White Marsh, Torch Dragon, Kirin, Bifang. Just remember these code names. Asked Lin Yan instinctively. Ling Yu, Xiaoya, what are mountains and seas? Lin Yan was curious. Sister Yan, it's normal that you don't know about the Mountain Sea. Many evolved beings don't even know about it. Ling Yu grinned. Tell me about it, Lin Yan said excitedly. At the moment, Lin Yan was very interested in everything related to evolved beings. To us, it should be a very old organization. It happened many years ago. I was still young back then, replied Ling Yu. Is it also a team of evolved beings? Asked Lin Yan. Yeah, it's a very terrifying and powerful organization. I heard that there aren't many people, but they are very famous. Ling Yu nodded. Chapter 1056. The content of the call was that Wang Jingyang wanted to treat her to breakfast. Lin Yan agreed readily. She was a jerk who wouldn't take advantage of an opportunity like this. Early in the morning, Lin Yan drove to the breakfast place near Wang Jingyang's place. Lin Yan, over here. Wang Jingyang smiled and waved at Lin Yan from afar. Lin Yan strode over and fell into deep thought when she saw the soybean milk, fried dough sticks, and buns on the table. She didn't seem to have gained any advantage. It wasn't even enough for her fuel. Have a seat. Let's eat together. The buns and youtiao here are delicious, said Wang Jingyang with a smile. Lin Yan nodded and sipped on her soy milk. Did you look for me so early just to have breakfast with you? Lin Yan glanced at Wang Jingyang. I have something to discuss with you. The corners of Wang Jingyang's mouth curled up. What is it? Asked Lin Yan. Lend me some money. Wang Jingyang said. Lin Yan was speechless. I treated you like a good brother, but you actually asked me to borrow money. Lin Yan, damn you. Don't be so stingy. It's not like I won't return it to you. Besides, didn't you just accept the endorsement for KNO? You don't have money? Wang Jingyang panicked when he saw Lin Yan's expression. Why do you need money? Asked Lin Yan. I have something to do. I have to go on a long trip. Don't I have to buy a plane ticket? Don't I have to stay in a 5-star hotel? Don't I have to eat a 3-star Michelin restaurant? Wang Jingyang frowned. Go eat your ice cream. Lin Yan glared at Wang Jingyang. I've never been so extravagant in my life. How dare you ask me for money to dine at a Michelin restaurant? I don't have any money. Hee, lend me some. I really have something to do, Wang Jingyang said. What do you want? Just say it. Otherwise, I won't lend it to you, replied Lin Yan. It's all because of you. You scared me to death that night. I want to travel and relax, Wang Jingyang said. Lin Yan was speechless. Really? Lin Yan asked curiously. Hearing this, Wang Jingyang nodded. Really? If what Wang Jingyang said was true, then she certainly had some responsibility. Scan the QR code, replied Lin Yan. Wang Jingyang was startled when he saw the amount. F***CK. That much? I can't afford it. Who told you to pay me back? I saved this money for you. I'm keeping the rest here for your wedding. If it's not enough, I'll make up for it. Lin Yan grinned. Wang Jingyang was puzzled. You saved it for me? What else can I do? You spend so much money. If I don't cheat you, you'll spend it all. How will you get a girlfriend and get married in the future? Lin Yan replied matter-of-factly. Wang Jingyang almost burst into tears. He had never imagined that Lin Yan would have cheated him of so much money all these years. Thank you so much. After breakfast, Lin Yan drove Wang Jingyang to the airport. Are you going on a vacation now? Lin Yan was taken aback. Wang Jingyang sighed. I've wanted to travel for a long time, but I never had the money. Heavenly Hound, be careful outside. Lin Yan grinned at him. The expression on Wang Jingyang's face changed when he heard Lin Yan. What did you call me? Wang Jingyang glanced at Lin Yan. Heavenly Hound, doesn't it sound nice? Lin Yan grinned. Wang Jingyang's body trembled slightly, and his eyebrows furrowed. Lin Yan. Why? Why did you call me that? Wang Jingyang asked. Heavenly Hound was his code name in Mountain Sea. You're tuning in to the Xiaofan's Wuxia Tales YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.